Hi children, welcome to MDS classes Mysuru. I am Charles A, social science teacher from MDS. So today we will take up the fourth chapter in history, and that is opposition to British rule in Karnataka. In this chapter, the important points that we are going to learn are the early days of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, causes and results of the four Anglo Mysore Wars, and that is First Anglo Mysore War, Second Anglo Mysore War, Third and Fourth Anglo Mysore Wars. And many other rebellion or revolt took place against the British rule in Karnataka, and they are Dwarakawag, Rebellion of Kittur, and Sangolli Rayanna's revolt against the British, Amarasullivan and Surah Rebellion, Puttabasappa and Veerapa of Koppal. And the important points that you have to learn in this chapter is Halagalli Beda's rebellion. Okay children, we learn all these points with the help of a video.
To discuss about the Hyder Ali. The 18th century in the Indian history is considered as the century of political problems. Many problems developed here in the Indian history. Reason: Mughals were ruling India. There, in 1707, the Aurangzeb, the Mughal ruler, he died. The death of Aurangzeb resulted in the Mughal lost control over South India, the faraway distance, that's why. So many rulers here in the South India declared independence. And so with that, another incident in Mysore, death of Chikkadevaraja Wadeyar created problem of succession in Mysore. Who has to come to power? There's a problem there. And at that time, Hyder Ali was a soldier. As a soldier, he joined to the Mysore army, an ordinary soldier. And because of his brilliancy, because of his hard work, came into the prominence during the siege of Devanalli and military action against Arcot. He showed his skill. That's why he was promoted. And he was promoted to the post of Fauzdar actually. And there what happened, once the Mysore Wadeyar, he had no money to pay the salary to the soldiers. At that time, as a Fauzdar, Hyder Ali paid the salary of the soldiers of Srirangapatna. So immediately these soldiers, what happened to them? They believed that this person is the real hero and he is giving bread to us. And he used that, whatever the opportunity he got, he used that opportunity. And he weakened the power of Dalwais. Dalwais were ruling at the time. And sidelined the king, Krishnaraja Wadeyar. So, there the weak ruler Krishnaraja Wadeyar and Dalwais were ruling. At that time, he used that weakness. And he came to the power. So, like this, Mysore came under the control of Hyder Ali. Yeah. Next, what happened here? Hyder Ali, he rose to the power. No? At that time, British thought, so it is very dangerous to us. In South India, Hyder Ali coming to power. So we can't extend our empire. We have to oppose him. We have to defeat him. We have to stop him. As a result, many wars waged between Mysore and the British. These wars, the four wars were waged. That is the Anglo Mysore Wars. In that first Anglo Mysore War, second Anglo Mysore War half waged by Hyder Ali, and second half of second Anglo Mysore War, and third and fourth Anglo Mysore wars were waged by Hyder Ali's son Tipu Sultan. And what are the causes for this, and what are the causes, and what are the effects? Let us see. First of all, let us discuss about the first Anglo Mysore War. So, first Anglo Mysore War was waged between 1767 to 69. So here Hyder Ali built a strong army and annexed many regions of South India. He took French support in training his army, which was alarmed the British. To face British, he wanted to get training to his army in the Western style. That's why he took the training from French. Now they were alarmed by this. And British formed a tri-party alliance with the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad. So always British using Indians only to fight against India. So actually we are the fools. We don't have unity. There is a problem. But Hyder Ali became successful in breaking the alliance of these three tri-party alliance. He gave something, some huge amount to Marathas and made them to stay neutral. And Nizam also, he won the hearts of Nizam and made him to come to his side. And at that time political disturbance emerged in Arcot and Hyder Ali attacked upon it. And he organized a lightning attack but suffered few setbacks also. And his army reached Madras. Hyder Ali's army reached Madras and created panic among the British. Sudden attack of Hyder Ali created panic there. And in the first Anglo Mysore War, British thought it is very difficult. If we continue this, definitely we have to lose Madras also. That's why the British came for agreement. When treaty was signed, war ended with the Treaty of Madras, and British promised to assist him if he was attacked by his enemies. So mutual assistance, mutual help. In future, according to the Treaty of Madras, so war prisoners were exchanged, that is separate. And with that, the main point, main clause here, they agreed, they promised each other, if any external attack on them, they have to come to help each other. If British got any problem, Hyder Ali has to go, and anyone attacked on Hyder Ali, British should come to his help. So this was the agreement. Okay, like this, the first Anglo Mysore War ended. Now second Anglo Mysore War started. So how does the second Anglo Mysore War started? So between 1780 to 84, the second Anglo Mysore War was waged. And here the incident that Maratha Peshwa Madhava Rao attacked on Srirangapatna. So this was the main reason actually. According to the Madras Treaty, when anyone attacked on Hyder Ali, British should come to the help of Hyder Ali. But when Madhava Rao attacked on Srirangapatna, British did not support Hyder Ali and broke the Treaty of Madras. Intentionally they didn't come to the help. Now Hyder Ali realized they were not fit to believe. And British captured Mahe, which was under the hold of Hyder Ali. Actually, Mahe, French were there, but that area was under the control of Hyder Ali. British captured that. And Mysore army reached Coromandel and captured Arcot. See, war is going. And Hyder Ali was defeated at Port Nova battle. So at this time, he was not feeling well. He was suffering from a bounce on his back, that is cancer. And while fighting against the British in Port Nova, because of his pain and the cancer increased, that's why, because of his illness, he died during war. Not because of the British, he died because of his illness. So next the war continued by his son. When he died, when Hyder Ali died, Tipu Sultan was waging war in Malabar region. And he came back. And British wanted to take advantage of Hyder Ali's death. And they invaded Mangalore and Bidanur. And Tipu Sultan immediately came with an army. And he decided to protect Mangalore and coastal regions to him. And with the army he came and he defeated the British. Tipu Sultan bravely defeated the British. And now British again thought we have to come to an agreement. Tipu Sultan continued the war and finally British came to an agreement with Tipu Sultan. Second Anglo Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Mangalore. First Anglo-Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Madras, second one Mangalore. So this is about second Anglo-Mysore War. Next third Anglo-Mysore War. Here, Tipu Sultan understood. So if I stay like this only, if I continue like this only, definitely it is not possible to defeat the British. That's why he developed contact with the French. Like his father, he wanted to give training to his army from the French. And he developed the contact, he continued his contact with the rule of Afghanistan and Turkey and wanted to take the help from them. Here we have to remember in the history, in India, only the two rulers, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, they used the rockets. Yeah, the first rulers, they used this weapon, modern weapon like rockets. Yeah, and British were afraid of that. That's why British were afraid to attack on them. But they planned so nicely. So third Anglo-Mysore War started because of Tipu Sultan attack on the king of Travancore. He was the ally of British. Immediately British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigul, etc., which were under the leadership of which were under the control of Tipu Sultan, and the army of the British under the leadership of Meadows. And Tipu entered Baramahal and captured Satyamangala. There he got victory. This side British got victory. And Lord Cornwallis captured Kolar and Hoskote and rushed towards Bengaluru and captured it. Bengaluru was under the control of Tipu Sultan, was captured by Cornwallis. So here, dear students, you have to remember who was the Governor General at the time of the Third Anglo-Mysore War, that is Cornwallis. You should remember that. Sometimes such questions will come, that's why. And the combined army of Marathas, Nizam and British, always they are friends, these three tri-party alliance, attacked on Srirangapatna and destroyed the fort of Srirangapatna. And now Tipu Sultan don't have any alternative. They already reached Srirangapatna and he had to come to an agreement. He was forced to conclude an agreement. So that's why in the third Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu Sultan reached an agreement, that is the Srirangapatna Treaty. Here, Treaty of Srirangapatna, or so this Treaty of Srirangapatna, main question, what are the terms of Treaty of Srirangapatna? So same question can be asked in another type, that is what are the effects of third Anglo-Mysore War? Okay, same answer. In the Treaty of Srirangapatna, Tipu was forced to surrender half of his kingdom. The 50% of his kingdom was surrendered. And he was forced to pay 3 crore rupees as war damage fee. He started the war, that's why, as those who are defeated for them, those who fell down on them, everyone is ready to throw the stone, like that. He had to pay 3 crore rupees. In those years, just imagine 3 crore rupees, a big amount, huge amount. At a time, he could not pay. That's why, till he pay, he had to pledge 2 of his children as guarantee against the payment. Just imagine. See here, pulling his children. British kept 2 of his children. And he was forced to release the prisoners of war. So these are the conditions of the Srirangapatna Treaty. Yes, yeah. So next, so here, it is a humiliating treaty. Srirangapatna Treaty was a humiliating treaty for Tipu Sultan. That's why he wanted to increase his power and he strengthened his fort at Srirangapatna and he increased the army and he wanted to take the help of the French and continued his relationship with the rule of Turkey, Afghanistan, etc. So this alarmed the British. British thought it is very difficult to defeat this Tipu Sultan if he continue like this. That's why at that time Governor General Lord Wellesley. So remember, third Anglo-Mysore War, Cornwallis, fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Lord Wellesley, he wanted to make Tipu Sultan another agreement. Yeah, but he didn't agree. Tipu attempted to form an alliance of local rulers. Actually, here the problem is because of the way some problems of Tipu Sultan, local rulers not supported because he was arrogant. That's why. Because of his arrogancy, because of his religious policy, many rulers not supported and continued his relationship with the French by sending an ambassador to France. And these developments alarmed the British. And when Lord Wellesley tried to make an agreement with him, that is, to force him to accept subsidiary alliance, Tipu rejected a treaty proposed by the British. Actually, the British proposed to accept subsidiary alliance to get control over him, but he didn't agree. So as a result, Fourth Anglo Mysore War started, but at noon actually, when he was having lunch, British attacked and destroyed the fort, and he came out, and while fighting, Tipu Sultan died in the war. In the Fourth Anglo Mysore War, Tipu Sultan died in 1799. So Tipu died in the war. After his death, the Mysore territory under the Tipu's rule was shared among the tri-party alliance, the three rulers, especially British, Marathas and Hyderabad Nizam. They shared among them. A small territory was handed over to Mysore Wadairs. A small territory, main Mysore, was given to Mysore Wadair. And Wadair accepted subsidiary alliance. So this is the end of Fourth Anglo Mysore War and end of Tipu Sultan. And Wadair's rule continued there afterwards. But then Mysore developed so much under Wadair's. That became model princely state actually. Okay, this is about Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. Next, in Karnataka, not only this much, others are there. They are Dwarakawag. He was a famous person. He opposed the British. About initial life of Dwarakawag, if we see, he was born in Maratha family of Chennagiri. And he started his career as a cavalry soldier in Hyder's army. In Hyder Ali's army, he was a soldier. And he grew to the position of military general. Like Hyder Ali only, he developed because of his cleverness, his skill and his activeness. Make him to come to the position of general, military general. Due to difference with Tipu, see, when after the death of Hyder Ali, he got difference. But again, I want to quote that Tipu's religious policy spoiled him. Difference with the Tipu, he was imprisoned. British released him after Fourth Anglo Mysore War. After the death of Tipu Sultan, he was released by the British. But after his release, he organized an army with unhappy soldiers of Tipu and feudatory rulers. Yeah, he did that one. And then, see here, after that, with the help of his small soldiers, he captured Bidanur and Shivamogga and made some unsuccessful attempts to capture Chitradurga fort. And Lord Wellesley tried to attack this, tried to check this rebellion of Dwarakawag. And actually, this Dwarakawag, he organized an attack on Shivamogga, Honnali, and Harihara, and some other places. So, which were British. They made an attack on these areas of Dwarakawag, and Dwarakawag lost all these bases. And British captured Shikaripura. Afterwards, Dondia ran away to Gutti. So Gutti, which was under the control of Hyderabad Nizam. And actually, you know, already I told, Hyderabad Nizam, Marathas, etc., they were the ally of British. So Hyderabad Nizam's army attacked on Gutti. And now Dondia had to run away from Gutti, and he ran towards the region of Marathas. And Maratha army again attacked on him and captured most of his horses and camel and his arms. And British, who took over Shirahatti and killed many followers of Dundiyawag. So like that he lost his strength actually. Many of his soldiers died. He lost his camels, horse and also weapons. And now Lord Wellesley, he decided to end Dundiyawag. That's why he requested the help of local rulers. So always the British using Indians only to defeat the Indians. British tried to defeat his army in the areas between Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. When he was going there, at that place, he was caught between Maratha and Nizam's army. They helped the British. So this is the problem actually. Again and again I'm saying. Didn't have unity. British attacked him near Elaparavi and killed him at Konagal. So like that, Dundiyawag died because of the cunning nature of the British and the lack of unity among the Indians. Again, I want to say we should not lose unity, otherwise others will occupy India. Next, we have to discuss about the rebellion of Kittur. We can't forget this. Kittur Rani Chennamma, how can we forget? The brave woman of Karnataka who fought against the British. Queen Chennamma opposed the British when they tried to occupy Kittur on the basis of doctrine of lapse. Actually, after the death of Mallasarja, Chennamma's husband Mallasarja died, his elder son, Mallasarja's elder son, Shivalinga Rudra Sarja became the ruler. But Shivalinga Rudra Sarja was not a healthy person. Because of his ill health, he died in early age. After his death, Chennamma adopted a son named Shivalingappa. But according to doctrine of lapse, any Indian ruler, those who don't have the legal heir or a male heir, son, their kingdom will be lapsed to the British. But here, Chennamma's son died. That's why the Thackeray, the then collector of that area, sent a report to Bombay governor to take over Kittur under the doctrine of lapse. Immediately Chennamma opposed that. No, we will not give. Who are you to take this one? And decided to wage war against the British. And in that battle, Thackeray was shot dead. The collector Thackeray was shot dead. But British came with a big army and attacked Kittur under the leadership of Colonel Deek and arrested Chennamma. And she was imprisoned in Bailahongala fort. When British came to know about the link of her loyal right-hand person, Sangoli Rayana, that's why she was shifted from Bailahongala to Kusugal, and there she died. So brave woman of Karnataka who fought against the British, she died in the prison. Next, brave soldier of Chennamma, Kittur Rani Chennamma, Sangoli Rayana, about him we have to discuss. I don't have to explain more because you already watched the movie, that's why. Brave soldier of Chennamma, Sangoli Rayana, had an army of 500 soldiers. And he organized secret meetings at sensitive geographical locations. And he aimed at looting the treasury and taluk office of the British. And here the problem again. Some officers, Indians, they joined hands with the British. Amalda Krishnaraya joined hands with the British. And cunningly, Rayana was captured and brought to Dharwad and hanged there. So this is another problem, and cunningly they ended another brave person of India, Karnataka. So this is about Sangoli Rayana. Next we have to discuss about another rebellion, that is Amarasullivan Rebellion. Very famous rebellion in southern Kodagu, that is Sulya area, Amarasullivan Rebellion. That is near Subramania, Sulya area. Basically, this Amarasullivan rebellion is a farmers' rebellion. And it is very famous as Kalyana Swami, the person is Kalyanappan Katakai, very famous in that area. And British dethroned Kodagu ruler Chikavira Rajendra of Haleri dynasty. And he was transferred to Vellore through Bengaluru and later to Kashi. This created political instability in Kodagu. And there, Swami Aparampara, Kalyana Swami and Puttabasappa rebelled against this policy of the British. So there we have to discuss Puttabasappa. Actually, a farmer, ordinary farmer named Puttabasappa, he acted as Kalyana Swami. Actually, Kalyana Swami rebelled. He was a main person who planned the rebel against the British. But British arrested and killed Kalyana Swami. But people don't know about that. In the name of Kalyana Swami, Puttabasappa, he presented himself as Kalyana Swami or Swami Aparampara. Yeah. And he continued that rebel. And he took the leadership. Puttabasappa organized the rebel and calmed down the people. And he declared that if the rebel government come to power, the tax on tobacco and salt will be withdrawn. So people became very happy. The farmers, they supported. The rich farmers, the landowners and local chieftains, they were assured of this move. And he captured the government office in Bellare. And he killed an Amaldar who was known for his brutality. A very cruel Amaldar was killed by him. And the rebel looted the treasury and prison of Bantwala and captured Mangalore. And British sought the army they brought the army from Talacheri, Kannur and Bombay. And actually, here when he occupied Mangalore, from Kodagu to Mangalore or Kasaragod to Mangalore, a vast area which came under the control of Puttabasappa. For 13 days he kept this area under his control. An ordinary farmer, just imagine. The capacity of Indians. If everyone unite, how can we achieve the independence? But problem was unity not there. And British brought these armies from these areas and arrested them and hanged all the rebels. Yeah. So this is about Amarasullivan Rebellion. Next we have to discuss about Surapura Rebellion. Yeah. And at Surapura, Krishna Nayaka died. After his death, his son Venkatappa came to power. Venkatappa Nayaka came to power. But Venkatappa Nayaka's ascendance to the throne was opposed by his uncle, means Krishna Nayaka's brother, Pedda Nayaka. He opposed that. Actually, when Krishna Nayaka died, Venkatappa Nayaka was young age, minor. That's why Pedda Nayaka wanted to come to power. So in this juncture, British, they wanted to come there, and the British appointed Magistrate Taylor as the political agent there. So Venkatappa came to the power, and British Magistrate Taylor, he became the agent there, and Pedda Nayaka was appointed as Diwan. And the Taylor actually he developed this princely state, Surapura, and he conducted the land survey of the kingdom and increased the revenue of the state. And because of his measures that Surapura developed, and also he took measures to educate Venkatappa Nayaka properly, and After, in 1853, the Venkatappa Nayaka, he came to power. And here another development took place. The British always keeping one officer there, and suddenly what happened? The British suspected the king, Venkatappa Nayaka, when they noticed Nana Sahib's representatives in Surabaya. Yes, at that time Nana Sahib was planning for Sepoy Mutiny or first war of Indian independence. So they observed Nana Sahib's representatives in the kingdom. They suspected this king. He was working against the British. And they appointed Campbell, an officer, to report the activities of the king. And Campbell reported to the resident of Hyderabad that the king involved in maladministration. Okay, yeah. So British army immediately attacked on Surapura and captured it. Captured Surapura. But there Venkatappa Nayaka's rule ended and he died. But about the end of Venkatappa Nayaka there was confusion. Regarding the Venkatappa Nayaka's end, there was a confusion among the historians. So this is the end of Surapura. Next we have to discuss about Veerapa of Koppal. Veerapa was a zamindar. So zamindars of Koppal, they revolted under the leadership of Veerapa and against the British and occupied Koppal. Many farmers and zamindars supported him. And here, British again took the help of Nizam. After contacting Nizam, British employed their army to defeat Veerapa. And while fighting against the British, Veerapa died in the battle. So this is about the rebel at Koppal, Veerapa of Koppal. And another one, Halagali Vedas Rebellion. Vedas of Halagali, very famous rebellion actually. Halagali is a small village in Mudhol Taluk. Mudhol dog, very famous Indian. The British banned the usage of weapons. Their Arms Act was brought by the British. According to that, all the Indians, they have to take license for their weapons, the gun, etc. They have to surrender their weapons. For Vedas, for hunting, they need weapon. Vedas rebelled when they were asked to surrender their firearms. And the Vedas of Manturu, Bodani and Alagundi, etc. joined hands with Halagali. And the British army suppressed the rebel and hanged all the rebels. Nearly 500 Vedas they fought against the British. So this is about Halagali Vedas rebellion, very important one. So like this in Karnataka also, the people of Karnataka also, they waged war against the British to send British out of India. So our contribution also there. So this is about opposition against the British, opposition to British in Karnataka.
Children, I hope you have understood the lesson in detail with the help of this video. Kindly refer the textbook and answer the questions that is given in the textbook. Thank you, children.